Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I'm a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. The journey continues today on January 27th, 2025 at approximately 9 o'clock p.m. PST. Now, I've returned to this world and made it my life's journey to remind people that working together, we can make this a better world for virtually everybody. Now, I build myself as a spiritual guide because the tools I offer are the exact same tools I personally use in my own day-to-day life. And the philosophies of life I talk about are the same philosophies I utilize to guide virtually every decision I make. With this in mind, I know these tools will work for you because they continue to work for me, and they have worked for literally thousands of other people with varying degrees of success, depending on their own personal efforts. Now, today we are going to be dealing with attaining success in your life, the plan. So hopefully you brought your notepad with you, because seriously, this really boils down to making notes and making things happen in your life. So before we get into that, we have Storm in the background, and he is my primary moderator. He makes sure that we don't have any technical problems, or more to the point, that they're kept to a minimum, and problem children are removed. Okay, before they become problem children, because I don't know about you, I'm not interested in another heart attack. Probably have another one sooner or later, but what the heck. We also have L.A. Moon in the room, and quite often she keeps things and keeps the conversation going. Okay, but much more importantly, in my eyes, she actually keeps a real close eye on what my health is doing. To that end, I just finished supper before we came on here. Hence the delay in getting to the screen. But now, what do we got here? Hey, yo, you are in with the gold. How you doing? Glad you could join us. And then Philip Blair, you are back. Yeah. Well, this is going to be a normal thing there, Philip. On Mondays and Fridays, I will be going on with a day in the office. And those will come on at 4:30. Okay. If at all possible. Today I was late getting on. But on Friday and Monday, I will be coming in for a day in the office. The rest of the time, this is where you'll find me. Okay. So that's where that is. And heart attacks are painful, but they're a lot less problematic than a stroke is. I've had both. I've probably had more heart attacks than you've had birthdays. And so far they haven't kept me dead. I forgot something. Amazingly enough, it's not all that shocking. So, because we don't really need that door open. But, like I said, it's a very simple issue. It's a very simple issue. You desire to attain success in your life. We already covered the purpose. Today, we're going to cover the plan. Now, here's the neat little kick about all of this. As we said yesterday, the synopsis is already in the February edition. So that works out well. We also included in that the anatomy of a home. So you can work with that as well. Now, with that in mind, when we start looking at the plan, this funny little thing, the what I call the list method, works like an absolute charm. Because once you know what you're looking for, it's time to start clearing stuff out of the way. Okay. And the first part of a plan is, once you know where you're heading, if you haven't done it already, absolutely get the clutter out of your office. Move it out of the way wherever it belongs. Okay, and I don't mean stacking on a shelf someplace else, although you might have to start that way. I mean literally get it organized. Well, I haven't tried, actually, I did try that. There was a lifetime where I tried the whole decapitation thing. Didn't work out all that well for me. Although, in all fairness, I did lose about 12 pounds like that. You know, usually a bad idea. You know, the one thing you gotta remember, okay, not about guillotines. We'll go back to the idea of the plan for success. People don't plan to fail. They literally fail to plan. So once you have a purpose in mind, now what you do is take a look at everything going on around you and ask yourself one thing. Okay. You know, and that one thing you ask is whatever I'm looking at contributing to my success? If it is not, it's time to change the energy around it. Okay. Like right now I've got some clutter on my desktop calendar. But I can normally, if this were a day in the office, I'd get up and move it right now. But when we're talking about a plan, look at what you're aiming for. Now, it's simple for me. The plan is literally, I intend on being successful. This means I take a look at everything in my office. Now, of course, my office desk, as I've pointed out, is about 15 feet long. Okay. Yeah, pretty close to that. So I've got all of that cluttered. And of course, it also has a second tier to it, which means I get all that clutter out of the way and the energy runs better. Once that happens, now, people have undoubtedly told you that the hardest step to take is the first one. Okay, I'm here to tell you you've been misled. Okay, watch every child that you ever see get up to walk. The first step, they struggle on their feet, certainly. Okay, but when they start to walk, they go and they put the first foot forward, which is great. Hey, yo, you're asking what is your definition of success? For me, that's real easy. Okay, the early part of it is, number one, I'm still breathing. Number two, I've got a roof over my head and I'm not struggling to pay my basic utilities. Once I've got my basic utilities, my food in the house, that to me is the first level of success. Okay, once that's done, now I start in expanding. But that means for me, I will be making more than $2,500 a month. Okay, at which point I can live essentially high on the hog. And success for me at that point will be to reach out and send money back to the people that have been supporting me. Okay, and I don't mean supporting me from a financial standpoint only. I mean emotionally. I'll tell you, the amount of emotional support I get here is phenomenal. Now, let's see, what do we got? Go right back up top. We have, hey, yo, you came in with the gold. Philip Blair came in with the silver. And then we scroll down, and what do we got here? Then we have Rachel Andrews is in with the bronze, followed immediately thereafter by Renee Andrews, okay, who is in with honorable mention. I am so glad you guys have arrived. And by the way, I've got a neat little piece of information for you. Okay, it won't matter much to many of you, I don't think. But I just yesterday sold another copy of Races of the World through the Buy Me a Coffee link. Not a problem there, hey yo. The reality is I look for the questions in the chat room. And you did exactly what I've asked. You put the question in all caps. Makes it real easy for me to find. Now, when you start looking at things, this list method works like an absolute charm. Now, I don't expect you to read this. Number one, I wrote it. That writes it out of the equation part. But you'll notice that the list runs, well, maybe you won't. I wonder if you can actually see that at all. Not really. But never mind the writing. The list starts at the top and runs all the way to the bottom. I've only got 4 or 5 things left on it to do tonight, which works out well because I got about 2 hours after I get done stream, assuming my energy holds. Otherwise, I've got things set up for tomorrow. But when you do the list, where do you start? Right where you are at this moment. If this is when you're starting, you look at right where you are. Okay. And turn around. Okay. And start moving things. Start redirecting the energy. If it's not working for you, if it's not helping your success, your idea of success. Now, I'm going to ask a really bizarre, well, really not that bizarre, but hey, yo, question directly for you. What is your definition of success? I'm just curious, and if you don't desire to answer, not a problem. Absolutely, operation. And as I mentioned with the list, okay, take your list, you literally put 3 things on it. Okay, each one no longer than 15 minutes to half an hour in length. When you get one completed, check it off and add a third one. Now, I will tell you, this is why I write these things. In this particular one, and I am actually in the process of other ones, but in the book, Believe in Yourself and Follow Your Dreams, I give you a basic layout of the list method. Okay, not only showing you the list, but also explaining why it works. And the reason it works is real simple. Okay, when you turn around and you start clearing things off, you will feel like you've been successful. Now, for me, it's really neat. I started doing this at the beginning of last year. Yes, I went over to get something. Okay, I went over at the beginning of last year. I started. Okay, and this is the entire year of lists that I was working on. Neat part here is I can look back and see what I've done. Now, Heyo has gone to provide for my family, make sure my kids are a positive influence on other people, and to be a light in the darkness of this world. This is fantastic, Heyo. It really is. Now, if we can, when we find more people like that, amidst all this chaos that's being propagated, that is what we're here to do. That's what we're here on Positive Perceptions to do. My entire company is based on that. And here's the neat little part about it. We are slowly making an impact. Now, I'd love to say we were covering as much as we can, but here's the reality. We have billions of people that are spending their lives listening to other people say, the world is a wreck. Let's go after and get every cent we can from everybody. Get stuff. The Egyptians tried this. It worked really well. They collected a lot of stuff. They buried it with them, sadly, including some of their slaves. Okay. And then they died. And they left their stuff behind. So let's be real. Okay, there's a novel idea. You're not taking your stuff with you. Okay, whether you're rich, poor, black, white, male, female, doesn't matter. And I don't care who you pray to. You're not taking your stuff with you. But you've got a certain amount of life here. Now, I've already determined I'm living on stolen time. You think about it, 5 years old, I died. They shipped me to the morgue. I walked out. I didn't agree with them. Okay, I've made a lot of miscalculations over the years. And that's why I've decided to finally step out of my shadow and go, here's what works. Okay. Over 100,000 clients. See, and literally, if I'm being optimistic, 70 or 5% English, 30% of them have been businesses, 65 relationships. Okay. And then you get another 5% that are all kinds of odd things. But let's be realistic on top of it. If you look at that, your house, your home is a business. So take a look at your home. Okay, take a look at where your life is and ask yourself one little question. Are you happy? And I will tell you, I've seen people do it. I've got all this money, I'm happy. Meanwhile, their stress levels are off the charts. They don't sleep. They're up to their eyeballs in debt. Okay. I own a brand new. In 2022, it was brand new. But my car is paid for 100%. I don't owe a nickel on it. Okay. Now, granted, I do not have a 2025 vehicle. The one I've got is working fine. And since it's never been in a bumper in a crash, it's working beautifully. The reality of a plan. Give yourself small markers. Okay, now I recommend that you take a look at your office desk, wherever you work on your finances, wherever you work on your organizing, your planning. That's the first area to clear completely. It's kind of like clearing your head, especially when you think that the office is literally the brain of your home and of your business. Okay, so get that cleared. That's step one, just in case you're not aware of the best place to start. Okay, that's number one. Now, depending on how your life goes, organizing the rooms can be varied. Okay, but I will tell you, one of the most important ones, after you get the office done, one of the most important ones regarding stress release is the bedroom. That's where you go. That's where you process things. That's where you digest what's gone on for the day. Okay. And I mean, you can see I've got a few things on my bed, but they can be moved in a matter of moments. I just don't feel like standing up to do it right now. But the reality is, you've got an idea in your own head of what success is. Now, where it comes to financially affording to live, here's a real simple trick. And it's amazing how many of the people I see, oh, I'm a financial advisor and this is what you got to do. They are up to their eyeballs in debt. Oh, nice, Rachel. Rachel goes, I've got a 2002 Ford Ranger. So far, low maintenance. And as long as it's low maintenance, I'll tell you, you're not going to spend the same amount maintaining it as you will replacing it. With you buy a brand new car, and the charges are stupid. Okay, you buy one if you have to buy one, and I did buy one on a loan. Of course, I didn't have $40,000 to my name. And this is the kicker where it comes to changing your life. You desire to provide for your family. You desire to simply keep a roof over your head. Okay, I turned around and again, of course, these books I'm showing you, yes, they're $20 Canadian, signed in your hand virtually anywhere in the world. However, there is a PDF version on the Buy Me a Coffee link that is only $10 in your hand in a matter of minutes. Okay, but inside, Believe in Your Finances and Follow Your Dreams, I show you exactly how the baseline of how to sort out your finances, how to understand what is the critical and which ones are critical. Where you're looking at planning for success, it is wise, and I ignored this when I was a kid, it is wise to realize that finances are a critical factor in your success, in your stress level. I ignored it. Do yourself a favor. Don't. Okay. At my age, I'm simply going, okay, where can I go from here? Because get this, I'm going to be 61 in 4 months. Okay. I spent the first 60 years of my life wasting money, wasting effort. My goal at this point is to offer you the opportunity to avoid doing that. Now, whether you take the offer or not is entirely up to you, but your plan has to include absolutely the physical world around you. But remember, money doesn't care how you feel, but you best have a handle on it. Okay, and again, whether you buy a book from me or not, the reality is there's a lot of really good books out there telling you how to handle finances. The one drawback is most of them tell you, oh, you can do all this for just a mere $5,000. Really? I'm lucky if I got 50 cents to my name. Okay, but do what you will with it. When you're talking about planning, absolutely write down what you've got to clear. Okay, whatever is not contributing to your success, it is holding it up. You've heard the idea that, if you're not with me, you're against me. Well, if you're not paying attention to your finances, they are not going to be with you. They are going to be against you. And you are going to have massive complications. No, I'm not a doomsayer. You might call me a realist. Okay, but my father used to put it real simple. You take care of your pennies, the dollars will take care of themselves. There's also an African proverb that goes, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Now, I started off with this whole idea, and this is what I mean by I get sidetracked. The hardest step in any journey is not the first one. Every child I run into has gone through the same problem. You yourself, when you were learning to walk, first thing you did was struggle to get to your feet. This is great. Okay. Now, once you're standing, the first step that a child makes, everybody pulls it off. Everybody makes that step. Philip, did I not see you come in? Or have you just been quiet? Anyway, glad to see you're here. The first step is tentative. You make the step. The second step, more often than not, is they make the first step and then the kid leans a little off balance and moves that second leg in order to keep their balance. Once they've got their balance again, now that's when you start going, okay, I've got my footing, I've got my balance, where am I heading? That's the real challenge. Okay, that's the hard one. The third step, when you know you've got your balance, now you've got to pick a direction. And that's all on you. All the prayers, all the positive thinking, all the positive affirmations, all the encouragement from other people. You're the one that's going to have to move your feet. Okay? And this is something I ignored. And I'm telling you, this is a really, really bad move on my part. I'm just hoping I can get through to you guys, if you still require it, the concept that you've got to pick a direction and you've got to pay attention to it. Now, I will tell you, if when you take a look at the state of the world, I'm talking about the litter and the garbage. One person dropping a candy bar on the ground is not going to cause a problem. Okay, not to speak of. 100,000 people putting a piece of garbage on the ground really is. Now, Philip has asked, speaking of children, Oh, I heard an interesting saying. A child not embraced by the village will burn it down to fuel its warmth. I like it. And it's all too real. You know, that is, by the way, guys, an African proverb. There's another one that goes hand in hand with that says, a child is not raised by the parents alone. A child is raised by the community. And Robert White. Oh, there we go. Lurks Ninja like, that's what they were teaching me to do again with the prosthetic. How is that going there, Robert? The work with the prosthetic, I mean. I cannot tell you how impressed I am with the way you've been dealing with it. You have really taken to working with it. I'm a firm believer that, there are certain things you don't get options on. You kind of either have to work with it or you're going to be in trouble. And who do we got? And Simon the Likeable, you are in. How you doing? Glad you could join us. I just about said something that would be really, really poorly accepted by YouTube. So we're not going to use it. There is another definition for raise, and I will let you guys figure out that side of it. Because it only takes one person to do that. Not recommended. Oh, there you go. That is that raise. The reality of it is that when we are looking at it, with the kids are back in school, holy mackerel, what is today? I'm just looking at this, Simon, going, where are you? The kids are back in school now. I mean, we're all the way through January. My kids aren't in school anymore. That's why. I'm sitting here going, why don't I know anything about the school? Well, I got one son that's 19 and one that's 27. That solves that problem. Oh, there you go. Where are we here? The nice little part about it. Oh, I didn't realize you were that far away. But, this is what Joe Stewart was saying, that we're already global. What I'm aiming for right now, okay, and I am looking at this, is not so much the monetizing, but I would love to see us break the 1,000 subscribers. We are currently at 653, so we're doing that fluctuating thing again, bouncing from 653 to 648. The nice little part about it is I know we're going to eventually do it, but it's literally been your guys' support and encouragement and request not to shut things down that has actually kept me going. That plus, of course, the absolute uncanny support from Storm in LA. It has been absolutely remarkable. I'll tell you, I get way more support here than I ever have from home, really. From my brothers. But here's the neat thing. You get a plan together and you start clearing the stuff out of the way. You put that list. As you get things checked off, you're going to find you pick up more and more energy. Ferret, how you doing? Long time no see. Glad you could join us. Come to think of it, I've got to contact a couple of people. Oh, sheep, today was Monday, wasn't it? Well, I'm going to have to make a phone call tomorrow because it's way too late for me to check up on a client of mine. Because I'm not doing it this hour of the night. That's just rude. So, go like this and we go click. So I've had to add 2 phone calls to my list for tomorrow. Again, it boils down to knowing what you're up to. Okay. It literally boils down to take a look at your plan. Anything that is not working, that is not helping you attain your level of success in your eyes, it's time to alter it. Now, this particular one, believe in your business and follow your dreams. Understand, running a house is the most difficult business in the world, in my experience. Okay. And I talk about my experience based on over 100,000 clients coming to me with business complications or household complications at a staggering rate. One of the things we've got to look at. Yeah, sure they would, Robert. The fact of the matter is, when you come to the conclusion you're not content with the way your life goes. Oh. I can answer that right off the bat, Simon. Okay, I know I didn't check matter of fact, I didn't check the address. Yeah, definitely look into it. I know the order came in, but I'm getting it tomorrow morning. I only found out about it about 20 minutes before I came on air here. The neat part about the plan is this. Anything that is not helping you get closer to your goal, closer to what you consider success, it's got to have the energy shifted. Now that simply means stop the current flow. If what you're doing, Simon, in this chat room, as long as you're polite, we really don't have a problem with the interruptions. Okay, that's why I seriously tell people, when you've got a question, even something like that, just to be clear, put it in all caps. I keep an eye on the conversation, yes, but to spot the questions on occasion is a bit complicated. Okay, now, when we look at this one, and again, it's available in PDF, running a house is the most difficult challenge. It's the most difficult business in the world to run. Okay, it's absolutely the most difficult and the most wasted commodities. I see this absolutely the world around the world. In all fairness, I see it in several different civilizations. The most wasted commodity in existence. Yeah, Ferret, I interrupt all the time. Absolutely, but we love you for it there, Ferret. The reality of it is, the most wasted commodities in existence is literally the wisdom of the seniors. And by the way, a senior is anybody even a minute older, even a second older than you are. Okay. The wisdom of the seniors and the enthusiasm of the youngsters. And of course, the youngsters are the ones that are anything even a second younger than you. They're still young, and they're still younger. Okay. Take that in consideration. In my eyes, it is absolutely necessary for you to really, really keep one thing in mind. Whatever you're aiming at, whatever you're going to experience, if you can find somebody, that is literally has done what you're aiming at doing. If you can find somebody that has done it successfully, talk to them. Because I'll tell you, I really wish somebody had talked to me when I was just a tiny thing and told me banging your head on the wall is not a good idea. It would have been even better if they'd have told me not to tangle with the fireplace, because I lost that one technically. The fireplace was blood soaked. Me, I was on the floor in pain. Not a fun thing. But find somebody, anybody, that has done what you're aiming to do successfully. Okay? Make sure you remain true to you. But whatever you're doing, whether it's running a household, running a community store, just a small mom and pop grocery or a restaurant, running a grocery chain or a food chain of some form, or running a mega, an intercontinental business, doesn't matter. They all follow the same guidelines. The reality of it is that when you start taking a look at it, okay, when you are planning something, it is absolutely critical that you start planning to do what you desire to do. I hear so many people go, oh, don't get into writing, don't get into the creative arts. You can't make money. I'm not sure. Anybody ever hear of Gene Simmons of Kiss fame? Okay. Or maybe you've heard of Carly Simon or how about Johnny Cash? Any number of singers. I don't know, there's this guy that did absolutely nothing with writing by the name of Stephen King. You can't make money at it, right? And when it comes to art, I actually knew the guy that did this. Okay. If you think you can't make money, you're mistaken. Well, no. If you think you can't make money, you're absolutely right. But I knew a guy personally. He took a white canvas sheet, okay, just a normal art canvas, and it was white. He painted it off white. Used baseboard running boards, those fine little beveled chunks of wood. He used those to make a frame. He called this painting, he called it Whiteout. And I kid you not, the man sold it for $1 million. Okay, rest assured. Rest assured, when you're looking at that, okay, if somebody can sell that, it's not a question, it really isn't a question of whether or not you can make money. It's whether or not you can figure out how to market. And LA is going, I used to paint figures like you are. I made money. I am not that good. I mean, I'm quite happy with the way this guy's turning out. Right. He's not done yet, but he's still got a fair chunk to do. But I'm using them for literally visualization on my part. Yeah, Robert White goes, white buffalo playing cards with a polar bear in a whiteout. Yeah, pretty much the same idea. And the unfortunate part is most of what is out there, we're told you've got to spend all this money to get it. I'll tell you, the happiest people I ever met had virtually no money. As long as they had a roof over their head, they were in good shape. Yeah, Philip goes, Johnny Cash and Andy Money. The reality of it is what you see as success is what will turn it and what will determine it. Yeah, Fair goes, sometimes I got paid to play my bagpipes at events, or paid to stop. I was dating a young lass years ago. She had pitch perfect sound. This is not the one I'm dating now. Well, I'm engaged to now. But as I'm sitting at this audition with her, and I hear this woman screaming at her boyfriend coming through the door, and she's yelling about it, big woman. And she turns around, oh, Philip, I saw that one. Guy duct taped a banana to a wall, put a frame around it, and called it a painting. Called it modern art, and he sold the dang thing. No, I actually saw the one that Philip was talking about. But the sad part is this woman come through the door, and she's screaming, I don't know why I have to do an audition. I've been singing for years. I've been up on a stage in front of thousands of people. I've had people in tears while I've been on the stage. I never even thought about it. I just looked at her and went, yeah, I've had that effect on people too. Well, her boyfriend lost it. He ended up hitting the floor. He just lost it altogether, and he finally gained his wind. He looks at me and he goes, I know I'm in trouble, but that was fast. I don't mind. I'm looking at this. Robert White goes, a pineapple on a stand sold for $500,000. Now, I don't know about you, but if I had $500,000, if I had it, no. Anyway, if I had $500,000, I wouldn't be buying a pineapple sitting on a stand. Okay, or there'd be an awful pile of people. At that point, what would it be here? What do you got? Maybe if you get the right stand, we go 500,000 divided by 50. I could buy 10,000 pineapples on a stand and give them out to 10,000 people if I had $500,000. Bear in mind, I wouldn't do that. I may help people, but I'm not dumb enough anymore to hang myself out to dry. That's just not going to happen. I've already done that often enough. But get a plan. If you haven't got it on paper, absolutely get a plan and start moving everything out of the way. Focus on that plan, but don't forget, all work and no play. Not only does it make Jack a dull boy, but it annoys the heck out of him. What we got here? Yeah, Philip goes, was the pineapple covered in gold leaf? Blue Cruz, how you doing? Glad you could join us. The reality of it is, when we talk about a plan, I am literally talking about making certain that whatever you're aiming towards, when you see something that is not contributing to that success, it's time to start reorganizing things. Now, I will tell you, the most important thing in my life, okay, oddly enough, it really is my health. Okay, but then I drop dead. I cannot take care of my kids. Never mind my goals. Okay, but children, I like the way Whitney Houston back in the 70s put it. Children are our future. And that literally boils down to we have to start guiding them properly. If we leave it to the system that's there, it's not working well, in case you hadn't noticed. Okay, but get a plan on paper. Now, when I get done the stream tonight, I'm actually going to be adding to the button notes, to the synopsis for the February. Well, that was easy to say. For the February edition of positive perspectives, and apparently my mouth has gone on hold, or my brain went on vacation. I'm not sure which. You get to figure that out. I'm looking at this going, I finally got an idea in my head, and I've started putting down ideas for future streams. Okay, I've already got a couple more down, and we'll just keep on top of it. So again, if you've got a topic you'd like us to cover, absolutely let us know in the chat room. Thank you very much, Sarah LA. in the chat room, drop me a line. If you go to the Buy Me a Coffee link, it gives you a direct connection to get a hold of me. Okay, I do my best to answer the emails and what have you, or to respond. Some of you have my number. It's not that hard to find. Okay, just be aware. If I don't answer, I quite often don't answer phones that are unknown. Okay, I answered one today, and I really looked at it when I shouldn't answered it. The guy was offering to handle the book and the marketing of my book. Now, this is fantastic. It really is. Okay, my plan is to get my books out to the general public en masse. To that end, we are now looking for the print on demand type idea. And once that's available, cost of the books will come down. At least the majority of it. If you're looking for one that is signed, that will still come directly through me. They are all still going to be available on Buy Me a Coffee. Now, I'm just seeing if I missed anything here. Because I'll tell you now, the reality is right now, we've already looked at the purpose. We're looking at the plan now. Okay. Again, people do not plan to fail. They literally fail to plan. Okay. Now, the question is, from your standpoint, are you ready to embark on a journey that will absolutely, by your own effort, put you in control of your life? Are you ready to finally put the past behind you and go, I've done the gerbil wheel or the hamster wheel routine long enough? Whoop. Absolutely, Simon. We just added one. We're going to go back. I've got these listed. I just gotta get my calendar cleared off so I can actually see it. It's amazing what happens. You put stuff on top of a calendar, you can't read it well. But I just added a couple again. Let's see. 26, 27. Where are we here? Can't get my fingers to work, so that always makes it fun. There we are. February. We are looking at, on Saturday, what is it? The 1st of February, we'll be covering astral travel. A different look at it. And then on Sunday, we're going to look at, on Sunday the 2nd, we're going to be looking at paranormal for the beginner. And yes, and what we will be dealing with a lot of these is going to be literally methods that have been utilized successfully. Most of them will be utilized by me. Some of them, are repeatable. I utilized one that I love, and I recommend you never try it. Okay. I did find that the definition of death, it depends on how you look at it. Okay. But we're going to look into a whole lot. What do we got here? Ellie goes, I turned into a donnery old lady going on about her grandchildren and mistaking telemarketer for one of them. That's just terrible, Ellie. Although it is fun. I heard one the other day. A telemarketer called a woman, and she started in on, and thank you for calling. She goes, just a minute. We are on the air in 3, 2, 1. Thank you for calling. We are here at such and such a location, dealing with purported scam callers. We have the FBI on the line. And what was your name again, sir? Click. There are a lot of things you can do to bring happiness to your life. One of the biggest things you can do. Okay. Okay, fair. We will that, and I'm going to add that one because that one is one of those funny ones. I'll write it there as soon as I find my pen. I will add that, and we'll deal with that one. Let's see. On Monday, why don't we do that? We'll write that in at this point. Where are we here? Okay. With that in mind, Ferret. I like that there, Ferret. Now, you mentioned that you're trying to meditate to access your Akashic records, but you got nothing. Okay, that particular topic, I just marked it in. That one we will deal with on the 3rd of February. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, I've finally got to I've gotten to the point, I will answer calls now. For the longest, Ellie goes, he does. It's not pretty. You know, that's just, I mean, we have a phenomenal group of people in the chat room. This is the thing. Yes, this place has to be safe for everybody, as safe as we can make it. But we've got to keep things light. And this is great. This is why I like the people in here. Okay. That and the fact I don't have to leave my house to get to them. I answered the phone one day. I had a caller call me and I said, okay, so what are you paying me to stay on the phone for? How much you paying me to stay and listen to your spiel? I love the ones that phone me and go, and who are you? It's like, well, who the heck do you think I am? The reality is you desire success. The way to get that is to put a plan together. If you don't know how to put a plan together, absolutely drop me a line. Okay. I will be adding those tips and techniques to Positive Perspectives on a regular basis. And that literally boils down to go to the top of the stream, okay, buy you don't have to buy. Positive Perspectives is a free newsletter. And all you got to do is go up to buymeacoffee.com/innervoiceJ and just tag on the buy me, on the issue of get me a subscription. The thing is free. What do we got here? Phil Blair. I heard one for vacuum cleaner sales. Does it work cleaning out goat's blood? That is just terrible. I like it. There is so much fun that you can have. I had door-to-door salespeople show up. They wanted to talk to me about the Bible. I told them, I said, no problem. We'll talk about your Bible, and you come in and we'll talk about my Bible. And the person looks at me and goes, what's your Bible? I says, the Necronomicon. And they looked at me and, the what? And they were gone. Dawned on them what it was. The reality is, nobody plans to fail, I don't think. Maybe you do. But for those of you who are interested in success, put a plan together. Talk to the people that have done it. And yes, that means if you've got a question, drop me a line, ask me while I'm live. It's not like I'm not here often. Okay. And I will do my best to point you in the right direction. Okay. If I can survive the way I have, I know you can. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Robert, now, I would love, I do not personally speak Klingon. Yes, Philip, J for January. it's kind of odd the way it came up, but it's it's literally buymeacoffee.com / inner voice J, and that'll take you right to the shop. Okay, now that being said, where are we here? Oh, we are down to that, are we? We are down to the 5 minutes. Thank you so much, LA. With this in mind, guys, thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. Just a quick note, bring this around. Tomorrow being Tuesday, we are going to be looking at attaining success in your life, persistence. Okay, then on Friday, because we won't be here Thursday and Wednesday and Thursday, on Friday, we are going to be looking at patience. Then, and we've already got these listed, on the 1st, and let me get back to this. Wish my hand would work. On the 1st, we're going to look at astral travel. Okay, some ins and outs. On the 2nd, we'll be dealing with the paranormal for beginners. And then on the 3rd, we're going to deal with accessing your Akashic records. With all this in mind, guys, thanks so much for sharing your time with us tonight. Really appreciate it. I will see you again soon. Okay, until then, take care of yourselves and each other. And for pity's sakes, stay positive.